So this is the inspiration that we wanted for Jania's dress. This is the foolishness that he gave me. He did the boy's suit the day of, and we came to him February 29th. Nope. Look at this dress. The dress won't even go up. Won't even go up. This is the back dress.
What?
It's not even properly.
Oh my God.
After this cover, it was busted open, had holes in it at the top. Sticking her still had pins in it.
Wow.
Like, this dress was horrible. Look how he sold this dress. This is how he sold the dress. Busted in that. I first read it could have sold that dress better than that. No hem. He didn't even do the hem. Nothing. And he charged almost $4,000.
$4,000?
Leroy Brown was sponsored for that dress for her because of her academics. Look at this dress. Terrible.
Wow.
The bra, the cup is off, everything. Look at this, y'all. I can't make this up. This is how he rushed this dress that we came to him in February with. Okay, so
wow, February.
I can't make this up. When she came for that fit in the morning up front, it was too saggy, and I told him, look at this. Look how he sold it. You can't make this up. He just sold it just like this.
Wow.
He just did whatever.
For $4,000?
Just whatever. The corset, she couldn't even, she put that corset on, when she took it, look how it was big, it was so tight, it was sticking her when she was trying to do the little pictures. Look at this. You see this? Look at this.
Oh my God, that's a pin.
Why would you leave that in there?
Oh.
You just look at that, something was sticking her so bad. Come on, man. Look at the back of this. I don't sew, I couldn't have did all this. I don't sew, look at this.
So yeah, a lot of people had been tagging me, sending me this video. Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna comment, give my opinion about it. And I empathize with this family. It's sad that they had to go through this. Unfortunately, this is not a one-off occurrence. This has been happening all prom season. If there is a prom season, things like this are going to happen. And so, yeah, I chuckle now, but I empathize, and I hate that this happened to them. What's done is done. Prom has passed from what I believe. Prom was ruined, and there isn't much that I could really even suggest other than legal action. And I don't know what the courts would even say, but I guess that's something that could be considered legal action, and see how the courts rule. But aside of that, there are lessons to be learned. Lessons for the customer and lessons for the designer. And so that is what I am going to speak on. So first thing, and I've said this before, to designers, if you call yourself a designer or an aspiring designer, or if you choose to use the term designer, prom season is not the time to be practicing your skill. Prom season is not the time to be saying, oh, I can make that, when you've never made a certain style or certain piece of clothing. No, it's not the time to be learning, and don't be playing around with people's money like that. From now, because this is like the end of prom, from now until the next prom season, this is the time that you should be perfecting your skill, not at prom season, unless you want to end up in situations like this. So designers, please don't be playing around with people's money like this, okay? Customers, you know prom season approaches every year. You know, if you have I think it's a senior in high school. I don't know. I don't have a senior. My kid's in kindergarten. So, yes. So if you have a graduating scholar student, you know that prom is coming. So what you should be doing, this is not going to catch you by surprise. You should be either looking at dresses that you would like to wear, or you should be looking at designers that you would like to work with. You have a whole year. When I was doing prom, I had people 2 years before they were graduating high school asking me if I could make their prom dresses. 2 years before. So you know that prom is approaching, and so you should be actively researching who you want to work with or the dresses that you want to buy. That being said, if you are going the route of working with a designer, you should be vetting these people. Vet these people, okay? Look at the work that they've done in the past. Is it something that you want to work with? The styles that they make, does that match the, I don't know, the aesthetic, the style that you want to go with? How do you vet a designer? Yes, everything now is on social media, but if they do not really like have a lot of, because there are some people that don't, some designers that don't really have like a big social media presence, check for a website. See what they have on their website. If what you're seeing isn't like, I don't know, you have to use, I don't want to say discernment, but you can tell from what they post, the type of work that they have. So you should look at that and see if that is the type of work that you want them to do. Now, I want to say that a lot of people are not really designers, because a designer will create their own original creations, and that is what they're going to sell. A lot of these designers are really just good replicator or copycat artists, copycat designers. And don't stone me. I said what I said. That is the truth. Because all they're doing is really replicating the same type of dress. Okay? So be aware of that. What type of, are they really a designer, or are they really just like a copycat artist? And I mean, no shame in their game. People make a lot of money because they're giving what the customer wants, right? So if the customer wants the same dress that 17 million people have been wearing, then go ahead. Make that dress, make your money, as long as it's well made. So be aware of that. Like, are they really a designer? Do they have like original creations? Or are they just a copycat artist? And for some of these dresses, there's no skill that is really needed to make like a copycat version of that. There is no skill, but you can tell from some designers like how everything is made, the details and all of that. Okay, so just be aware when you're vetting, when you're looking at their work. What are they? Are they a copycat designer, or are they a designer? Okay, so back to this. After you've vetted your designer, the inspiration. I'm looking at this inspiration, and there has to be a bit more communication with your design. If you've decided or picked whoever you're going to work with, there has to be a lot of communication between you and the designer to get your vision to life. This is a very, very detailed dress. Okay, let me show different pictures. This dress was worn by Miss Universe from the Philippines. Her name was Gazini Ganados. And the designer of this costume was Carrie Santiago. Very detailed. Let me show you other versions, because this was actually placed in a museum. So this is it on some kind of mannequin. I know I had watched some other videos by the original creator saying, yes, this was not, she wasn't expecting the dress to be exact, but it was an inspiration. Customers, when you are giving or asking for some kind of dress from an inspiration picture, you have to really, like I said, communicate. You have to really, really communicate what elements exactly is it that you would like to transfer or see in the piece that you want. If someone came to me with this as an inspiration, it's immediately no. It's immediately no, because I'm like, where do you even start from unless you're the original designer? Okay. So in this case, I would have asked for several other pictures of inspiration, things that you like, so that we can see if we can incorporate that. But this, no, it would have been a no. And that was the mistake that, I don't know, this designer was thinking that he could recreate that. Like, that does not translate to, like, just say no. Just say no. If you know you can't do this, just say no. It's okay to say no. This is the back of the dress. Just look at all that detail. Like, why would you want to take that on? And I can guarantee you this did not take a day or a week. I think this took quite a bit of time, but I need to research that and see how long it took to create this dress. But back to back to things. Okay, so the creator said that they had spent $4,000 on, I don't know if it was on this dress or combined, because there was two dresses that this designer was supposed to deliver on, and both dresses were a hot mess. And so I don't know if it was $4,000 for this dress alone. But $4,000 is a lot of money. A lot of money for this type of work. Yeah, no, no. So customers, um, I don't know, value your money. I mean, yes, some people can spend $4,000 is nothing to them, but to me, $4,000 is a lot. And would like to see, I would like to see $4,000 worth of a dress. So my advice is, again, other than vetting, making sure that the designer can provide quality, that $4,000 is going to be worth it. Have some kind of consultation. Consultation. Of course, this is where you discuss the inspiration and all of that. This should be a detailed consultation. If it has to be a few consultations, one or two consultations, there should be a consultation. You should be discussing, of course, your inspiration. You should be discussing what type of materials, what type of fabrics are you going to be using. You should be discussing the scope of work, like how long do you think this is going to take. If it was retail, like ready to wear, I wouldn't really be too concerned, because what you see is supposedly what you're supposed to be getting from the store, because we've seen $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 dresses that you can buy either from what are these, Saks and Fifth or Saks Fifth, Nordstrom, just different places where you can actually buy dresses for that amount, and that is the dress that's going to come. But something that you are creating from scratch, communication. There should be, I cannot stress the communication. You should know what you are getting. Like I said, fabric. There should be fabric samples, if possible, sketches, because again, if this is an inspiration, what possibly could the final dress look like? And listen, my sketches are horrible, but like I said, we're going to take several inspiration pictures and try and incorporate those to see if we can get your final vision to life. So yeah, all these things should be discussed in a consultation. Okay. And then after you have agreed, there should be contract. $4,000 is a lot of money. You need to sign. This is what we have agreed. And a contract is not only, I'm kind of seeing in a lot of the designer groups where, oh yeah, they signed a contract and it's almost like it's just protecting you as the designer. No, the contract should be fair and protecting both parties. It should just say, this is what we're agreeing on, and I am going to do what I have said I'm going to do. So it should protect both sides. It should protect both sides. So yes, a contract, sign that contract. Also, payment. Am I paying this $4,000 upfront, which I don't really suggest? You can, because it's a lot of money. You can break it up. You can break up those payments. Obviously, there's going to be a consultation fee. So break that. If you like, you could do like a 50% deposit, because that deposit goes to getting material, research, all that stuff. So at least be ready to pay 50% so that you're not paying the full amount and this is what's getting delivered. So yeah, all those should be stated in the contract. If you do not, as a customer, if you do not agree with what is in the contract, read your contracts. If you do not agree with what is in the contract, walk away. Say no. Walk away. You have the power to walk away. So, contracts protect all the parties. And once that contract is signed, it is binding. The moment you start changing things, and I also noticed this in the groups, you sign a contract and then the customer comes back and says, oh, can you, instead of having silver fabric that we agreed on and is in the contract, can we do green fabric? The moment you as a designer change and agree to that original contract that you have signed is void. It's not enforceable because you've started to add things that were not signed for in the original contract. Anyways, I'm going on a rant here. Contract for such large amounts of money, please sign a contract. And that holds you accountable as well as a designer, because if you break that contract, guess what? Going straight to the courts, and you're going to lose your case. All right. Anyways, now I'm rambling. But the takeaways that I want you to have from this video: one, designers, prom season is not the time to be practicing your skill. You should be doing that before prom. Okay. So please don't play around with people's money. Customers, please vet your designers. Look at their work. Look at the work that they've done. Look at the customers that they've worked with. On Instagram, there's actually, okay, and I'm going to use Ken White, the designer, because I absolutely adore him and his work. But on Instagram, there is this. This shows you people who have tagged your work. And so you can go on that, click that, and it will show you, I guess, all the people that have tagged Ken in the work or their pictures from the work that he's done. So you can actually do that and see, okay, this designer, this is the type of work that that they've done, because these are the customers. These are the customers that are tagging him. All right, so next is have realistic inspiration pictures, and not just one, have several, so that the designer can have an idea, like a holistic idea of what it is that you want. And on top of that, just overly communicate what it is that you want. Okay, and lastly, contracts. If you're going to be spending a lot of money, please have a contract signed so that all parties are protected and there's some accountability. And I didn't mention this, but she said she has started working with him since February. February, March, April, May. Okay, that's a good amount of time to have a custom piece made. But that's just for me. I don't know what other designers' time frames is. But as a customer, don't nag your designer. But at least there should be some kind of progress in those 4 months. So initial consultation, and again, this should be included in the contract. Okay, when are we going to meet for, let's say, a fitting? How many fittings do I get? Oh, do we have to meet so that I can look at like fabric samples and all of that? So in the 4 months, you should not be meeting your designer at the beginning of like your initial consultation, and then at the end, the night before prom. No, like be on top of these people. Again, communication, but you should have at least 2 fittings to see what the progress of the dress is, and fitting should not be night before prom. Okay, that is all that I'm saying for this. It was extremely long, but it had to be said. Add your thoughts. Have you worked with a designer? What was your process? How long did it take? Yeah, what would you advise designers and the customers? So yeah, let's talk. Let's share your thoughts, and we can go from there and try and avoid such situations from happening again. All right.